Welcome back to the 3P. I'm your host, Chris. I'm here with Joe. How you going?
Yeah, good mate. Good mate. How you going?
Yeah, well, glad to be back.
Yeah, good to be back. Today we're going to be going through our NBA season predictions. So we'll go East Coast and then the West Coast. We'll start at 15 each, and then we'll work our way up to who we think is going to be the 1 seed. Do you want to go first?
I'm happy to go first. At 15, I have the Orlando Magic. I cannot see them going well this year.
You think so?
I don't think so. I think they're just going to run it with Paolo. Just let him out there, do his thing, and just see what happens. I don't see them getting any better.
Interesting. At 15, I have the Indiana Pacers. For similar reasons, I just think they're probably one of the worst franchises possible, and I am a Knicks fan.
I don't disagree, but with them still having Miles Turner and Buddy Hield, until I see them traded, I couldn't put them 15. I think they will be traded.
Yeah, I reckon maybe like a month or two and they'll beat the Lakers.
Lakers seem like the best destination for them.
Yeah.
But until it happens, I just couldn't lock it in because they are a shit franchise.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
It's very likely that they just go, let's just roll it with another year.
Yeah, especially like with your Orlando shout, I get it. I just wonder if they'll let Paolo and Franz and Jalen Suggs just play the whole season or if they'll just shelf them for Victor. Pretty much just what team is going to tank the hardest.
Who's tanking for Victor?
The West Coast, there's about 5 teams we know are going to tank for Victor.
And on the East, there's probably about 5 that should, but there isn't.
Yeah. All right, at 14th, I've got the Detroit Pistons.
14, I have the Pacers.
The Pacers. Okay. Not far
Works
off.
out. Yeah, no, that's why you're not wrong with 15. 14, it's right next to one another.
Yeah, I look at Detroit and I think Jaden Ivey, Cade Cunningham, they're going to get to a point where they realise, okay, well, we're not going to win, so we might as well just tank.
Yeah, no.
Most of these bottom teams are pretty much just going to tank because they realise they're just not going to make the play. Even if they make the play in, the odds of them getting further, not much. Who have you got at 13?
At 13, I have the Pistons.
Okay.
We're on the same wavelength here. I like it.
It seems like not
We're
far
too far off. The bottom teams are the bottom teams.
Yeah, at 13, if you see me looking down, I've got my notepad because my memory is shocking. At 13,
Fun.
I've got the Wizards. I think that Tingus Pingus.
That is a surprise to me.
See, as a Knicks fan, Porzingis has caused me many pain in my life. He's a very good player, but he will get injured at some point in the season. And if he does, do I see Kyle Kuzma with Bradley Beal leading the Wizards? No.
No, but with all 3 of them there, I can't see them falling that low. I know there's a lot of teams that are much higher than them.
Yeah.
Much higher than them. But, obviously I don't have them too much further from here, but 13, that's low.
Yeah, I reckon no hope for them.
Just no hope. Okay.
Yeah. Who have you got at 12th?
At 12, I have the Charlotte Hornets.
Okay.
I don't think LaMelo can carry a team on his own.
Yeah.
I don't think he's there yet.
We're going to bypass the Miles Bridges situation. No comment.
No comment from me.
Yeah, no comment. But without any support, I can understand that. I went with the Orlando Magic because I think that the Magic won't shelf Wagner and Paolo until after the trade. After February, after the All-Star break, you might notice them get little injuries, which are just pretty much them just saying they're done for the season.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they just let them play. I don't even think they shelf them. I think they let them play and they still come last.
I reckon.
I think they're going to be trying. Obviously, they're not going to be playing every game.
Yeah.
Come the end of the season, the last probably 2-3 weeks, they're not going to be playing. And if they are, they're just going to check in and check out.
Yeah. I saw a report that what's his name? Not Mobamba. Bol Bol.
Oh, Bobo's
They
been
said
killing
that
it in the
Bol Bol,
preseason.
the demigod, might be starting for them.
Oh, he probably should. He's not a bad option.
If they do, Magic 12th, I think will happen. Give Bol Bol minutes.
Look, you give all of them good minutes and just let them actually develop together. Probably. By the end of the season, they probably gel much nicer and do run better as a squad. But I don't see it being something I'd want to bet on.
Yeah. Look, fair. At the 11th, this one breaks my heart, but I'm very realistic. I have the New York Knicks. I can name you every Knicks season where I thought, yeah, wow, we're going to be good. We're not. 11th is where I think their ceiling is.
I don't have the Knicks too far, but I've got the Wizards at 11th.
Okay, so not too far off.
I have them just missing out on the play-in. I think you can. I don't think the Wizards are good enough to make a play-in, make the playoffs, and realistically beat many teams above this spot.
Yeah, I see my Knicks. Jalen Brunson got signed. Cool. That's about it. We've got Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, Jalen Brunson, Then maybe Obi Toppin, as we know, someone very close to us who hopes he has a good season. And then Mitchell Robinson is my dark horse for the Knicks. I think he plays well. He'll play well,
like
get
the
good
odds for the
rebounds.
Knicks. I like it. I think they will do a bit better than expected. I mean, last year they did run 11th, so you're assuming they stay where they were.
I don't see much. Like, we got Brunson, but I look at the rest of the East and most other teams got better.
I put them in the category that they did get better. I think that they have made enough of an improvement picking up Brunson. Not obviously enough to make huge strides, but surely they're a little better.
As a Knicks fan, I've learned if you set your standards really low, you won't get your heart broken. One year, I thought, wow, we're getting Zion. Moving on, we got it just wasn't it. Every time I thought, wow, the Knicks have done a lot of good moves. The only thing I'm glad they didn't do is the Donovan Mitchell trade. They would have had to overpay so much for him, and they said no, which I'm impressed by, because Knicks of the old would have overpaid by double just to get him.
At first, I did think they really should have put more in for Donovan, but after hearing how many picks they wanted on top of their whole squad, if they did that trade, they were left with nothing.
Yeah.
And rebuilding around Donovan's probably not a bad option for the Knicks at this point, but
it would have been a lot to
better
pay.
than nothing.
Yeah, for sure. Who have you got at 10?
At 10, I have the New York Knicks.
Okay, so we're not far off.
Not far off. I think the squad they've put around them can get them into a play-in game.
Fair. I've got the Chicago Bulls. I think Lonzo Ball is probably one of my favourite players to watch just because of how well he plays the game, but he's injured at the moment. I think it's his ankles again. I think between that team, injury is what's going to strike them again. Last season, they looked awesome. Injury bug got them, and it pretty much just derailed the whole season.
Yeah, Lonzo being out with that same injury, I don't know what's going on with him.
It goes back to the...
I know it goes back a while and he's had previous injuries, but it sounded like a 3-4 week injury.
It goes back to the Triple B shoes. Big baller brand shoes.
Yeah, I wouldn't wear them.
The ZO2s. $500 for the ZO2s, and yeah, there's a reason why the ZO2s ain't flying anymore.
Yeah, but when he first got injured, it was a senior person would have recovered by now. So I'm assuming that surgery's gone wrong, the rehab hasn't happened properly, and he's out for half a season?
Yeah, it's been quite a while. I think until Feb, sometime around, especially till the new year. But
yeah, so come All-Star break, he'd be playing. Yeah. You'd hope so.
Yeah, it's sad to see because he's the type of player that really opens up how they play.
He makes such an impact for that team.
Yeah.
Defensively, he's well set. He's one of the better defensive perimeter guys, and he shot at a pretty good clip.
Yeah, it's all gone a bit silent. People talking bad about how he's shooting, his accuracy, because he can pass, he can defend. The whole thing was his shooting, which obviously,
Which he worked on. He worked on it hard and it showed last year. He had I don't know exact his percentage, but he shot it at a good percentage for sure.
It was an improvement for sure.
Like 9, I have the Chicago Bulls. So I don't have them far off from you.
So I feel like we're not too far off. At 9, I have the Charlotte Hornets.
Okay, so at this point, we have the same teams up from 9, just slightly tweaks. Why you got the Charlotte Hornets so high?
I think, to be honest, no valid reason. Maybe we've watched a little bit too much LaMelo Ball in Lithuania highlights and thought, wow.
You can't go past social media and not see him. He's everywhere.
Wow, maybe he does well. I don't know. I think I look at the team and I think there's no inspiration, but could they possibly get a sneaky into the play-in? Yeah. Probably the worst shout I've got on this list so far. There's worse to come.
Well, definitely worse to come.
Yeah.
But no, I see Charlotte as a team that should be trying to go for Victor. I think they're too good to be in the top runnings for him, but they should be going for that.
It's going to be interesting. I think the Hornets at 9, I do question it. Probably not my brightest decision.
It's probably not your best decision.
No,
but it's not far from where I've put them anyway.
See, at 8, it's probably one of my worst decisions. I've got the Boston Celtics.
Oh. Walk me through that. That is a shocker.
Here's my thought process. Boston Celtics. Good team. NBA Finals last season. The coach, naughty. We don't speak about that, but naughty, Ime Udoka. Naughty. I think they had a good team. I think it's not going to be the internal, I think it's going to be the external factors that's going to play a big bit on that Boston Celtics team. Because they're going to go the whole season with a new coach, who's their assistant coach currently, and the pressure's going to be on him. If they don't perform how they did last season, all of the pressure of this is how good we were last season, whilst the proper head coach is sidelined for a year due to his suspension. It's going to slowly get there. All you need is, with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, it's obviously 1A, 1B. a little bit of whispering in the ear. And I think externally it will get to them, and then there'll be internal crumble.
I do tend to agree with you that they aren't going to have the season they did last year. But 8th, man.
Yeah, well, they got Blake Griffin. He's the father of Lana Rhodes' kid. Confirmed.
That is confirmed now?
It's
I
not
mean,
confirmed.
if you've seen
confirmed.
a photo, it's confirmed.
Yeah, it's definitely his kid. Was a Nets player, definitely not KD's kid.
Well, it was a toss-up between the two of them. They were the only ones in the birth dates or that
Yeah.
town that lined up, something like that.
Yeah, you look at the photos. It's side by. It's Blake Griffin's
It's
kid.
Blake Griffin.
It's his kid. I mean, what will he bring to that team? What's he going to bring to any team these days? Still good. Like, now I say this as I'm horrible at basketball. Any opinion that I say, I'm pretty dog shit at basketball. It's just call a spade. Not good.
I wouldn't say I'm very good either.
Yeah.
I mean, I can stand and shoot a corner three. It doesn't mean it'll go in.
Yeah. Hope. So when we do say this, like, we know we're not nowhere near what these guys are, but adding into Blake Griffin into the Celtics team, I don't think he's much more than he'll be on the bench for sure.
He'd be coming off the bench. I think he comes off the bench in the second unit with Malcolm Brogdon.
Yeah.
Brogdon's a good pickup in my eyes.
Yeah, but they've got Al Horford still, who reminds me of like a running dinosaur. I don't know why, he just reminds you of a running dinosaur.
Yeah, I can picture
He
that.
looks like the slowest, like the quickest slow person I've ever seen. That's Al Horford.
And he's still not quick.
He runs at time like 0.75 speed. He does.
That still blows my mind that you've got them at 8th.
Yeah.
I know the head office issues with the coach and all the scandals going on, the talks about last year, but since not pre-season, but the All-Star break last year, they were the best team in the comp after All-Star. And I think they've only improved the team. Their younger pieces have gotten better. I've got Tatum coming for an MVP season.
You reckon?
I think he's going to be top 3 in the votes, in the running. Not that he'll win it, but
yeah.
I don't think there goes another year where he's in the past. He made
Fair.
first team All-Star, I mean, not All-NBA.
Yeah.
I think him with Jaylen Brown and the defensive unit they've got behind him, there's no way that they finish just in the 8.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I mean, they definitely took a hit. They did fall.
Yeah.
But to fall to 8th is a little extreme,
Yeah.
but it's not out of character for it to happen either.
We'll see. We'll see.
At 8, I have the Toronto Raptors.
Interesting.
I have the Toronto Raptors. I think everyone else got better,
Yeah.
and they just took a bit of a hit. Not a huge hit. I mean, they finished in 5th last year. I still have them making the playoffs. I think they come out of the play-ins.
Yeah.
Scotty Barnes is impressive enough that he will just go on a run, get them through most things. Precious Achiuwa has looked decent through preseason. I don't know if you've seen a lot of him.
Not really.
I can't see him being an all-star in his entire career. He might be up there for most improved.
Yeah.
He's looked good, but I think this team has a ceiling.
Yeah. That's fair.
And I think to put them any higher than, say, the 6th seed is just crazy.
Yeah.
And the teams I've got above them, to put any lower than the 7th is insane.
Yeah. See, it's interesting because at 7, I have the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah.
So we're not too far off each other. I think, no, I'm just going to say on the record, I have Scotty Barnes on my fantasy team, so I'm a little bit influenced.
I have Freddie.
Yeah.
Freddie's on the team. Pascal used to be on my team.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of the Raptors.
Yeah. So I just think, similar to what you said, this Raptors team is good. They're going to trade OG, I reckon, during the season. Him and Scotty Barnes play 2 similar positions. They're going to trade one of them.
One of them's got to go, and it's not going to be Barnes.
Yeah, it's going to be Barnes. No.
Scotty's sticking around. He's a franchise player for them.
Who have you got at 7?
At 7, breaks my heart. The Miami Heat. I couldn't put them any higher. It hurts me to say it. At the 7th, Miami, they were the 1st seed, man.
So you say that, but I think they were the 1st seed by, 4 wins, and there was 3 teams tied on 50.
Might have only been 3.
There was 3 teams tied on 50 wins just below them.
It was the Celtics, Bucks, and the 76ers.
So,
They were all 2 or 3 wins right behind them.
yeah.
So realistically, they don't rest a player for 2 games, and they fall down to the 4th, 5th seed.
Yeah. I find it interesting when you get to, the end of the season, when teams start to... They're never going to openly say, hey, we're going to tank a few
they're
games.
looking for seeding.
They never say that, but when you start seeing, some questionable names on the starting lineup...
Players will say it a few years later that they were hunting for a certain team to play round 1.
Yeah.
And I mean, round 1 last year was Miami versus the Hawks. That's a good matchup for Miami.
That's not bad at all.
We're oversized on them. We have decent perimeter defense.
Yeah.
And at that point in time, their only offense was Trae Young.
Yeah.
And you shut Trae Young, you win that series, which we did.
As a Knicks fan, I don't want to speak.
No.
I don't want to speak about Trae Young in the playoffs.
Had some rough history with
I
Trae.
don't want to speak about it.
Trae Young's the best player in the MSG anyway.
Yeah. Sadly. Or Mario Hezonja? I can't remember how to pronounce the name, but he dunked on LeBron once as a Knick.
I can't even say I know that name.
Oh.
I haven't been long. I'll watch some highlights.
He's got no highlight. He has one highlight. He dunked over LeBron and stood over him. That's it. That's the only highlight. That's the only one you need to know.
That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. So we're at the 7th or 6th?
So I've got a few more things to say on Miami, sadly.
It's a passionate one.
Now, what's going on at power forward? What are they doing? We lose PJ Tucker. I know there's been some rumours of Jay Crowder coming back to the team, but I can't set that up. We don't have the cap space for him.
Yeah.
What do you do? Butler doesn't want to play at the 4. Do you want to move Bam to the 4? I don't know. And until I know what they do at the 4, I'm in disbelief.
See, I'm personally biased because I've said to you many times, I think that Nikola Jovic will eventually be he will either be in that starting lineup coming into the season or the 7th man on your team. Duncan Robinson shooting?
Duncan needs to be traded.
His contract's too big.
Contract's too big to be traded. You're not wrong.
It's too big.
But you package him up with a player like Jovic if he's having a good season.
Yeah.
If we're giving him the minutes and the rotations and he shows that he can raise his stock,
Yeah.
package him up, get in something in return.
Yeah.
There's plenty of teams that come trade deadline are going to have pieces to move because they're going to realise they can get a good player come the draft.
Yeah. I just don't know if I'm going to reach out for Duncan Robinson. He's the add-on that you don't really want, but you'll take to get the other player.
And the only other option of a player is Jovic.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, pre-season he's been playing well. We haven't been giving him large minutes, but
He plays
in
well
those
in the
minutes
minutes.
he's effective.
He plays well in the minutes.
He hits shots, and he defends relatively well.
He's not bad.
For a big guy, he spaces the floor, he defends the perimeter as well as you can ask a guy.
Yeah.
And with Miami's development, he's most definitely going to hold that position for as long as he can.
Well, I remember looking at our fantasy draft when it came to the time. I put notice on him.
Oh, you did. You took him, with your 3rd round pick?
Yeah, he was like the sleeper one where I thought no one's going to take him. If I could sneak in, get him, hold him for a bit. Very solid young player.
I mean, come preseason, Mickey D's going to want him soon. It won't take long.
Give it a month and he'll have more value. People who don't watch Miami preseason haven't seen him play much. They've always seen the odd YouTube highlight, but he's good. He'll be good in a few years.
He'll make a name for himself, and I think at some other teams in the league, he probably would start.
Yeah.
But with Miami's current team, maybe not.
Yeah.
I personally think that they run Omar Yurtseven at centre and move Bam to the 4. I don't like it,
Yeah.
but I think that's their best option.
Yeah.
We saw the success of 2 bigs, Twin Towers, and I think we can replicate it.
Yeah, I think a team that was interesting last year was the Cavs when they had I think it was like a 7-foot person lineup. It's ridiculous.
Have you mentioned your 7?
My 7 was the Raptors.
Raptors? Okay.
Yeah,
So we're on to 6 now.
6. Yeah,
At 6, I got the Twin Towers. I have the Cleveland Cavaliers.
is the Cleveland Cavaliers? Are they even the Twin Towers anymore?
Oh, probably not with
Like,
Cat and Rudy. Maybe
oh
not.
yeah,
They'd probably be the new Twin Towers.
yeah. See, at 6, I have the Philadelphia 76ers. And it might sound a bit unique. Joel Embiid, historically injury prone. Tyrese Maxey, very good. Very strong on Tyrese. I'm not going to talk him up because I want to trade for him. He's alright. He's pretty average. He's 21. He can shoot sometimes. James Harden. He has his... You know what? I actually would never talk bad about James Harden. Ask me why.
There's not a lot bad to say.
Ask me why.
What did he do to the Knicks?
No, not at the Knicks. He has his jersey retired somewhere. Do you know where?
No.
A Houston strip club. I'm not joking. The only place he has his jersey retired is a Houston strip club.
I mean, they've probably got it hanging up in other clubs too.
Yeah. They had a full ceremony.
I mean, it's half the reason he did go to Philly was he tested out the strip clubs first.
Yeah. Went to Brooklyn for a bit. James Harden's very good. I think the issue is people want 20... They want that Houston Rockets James Harden. It's not there anymore.
They expect 25 plus from him.
Yeah.
On efficient shooting.
Yeah.
I do have Philly higher.
Yeah,
I do
fair.
not have them at 6. Couldn't do it to him.
Yeah.
I think Joel is my favourite for MVP this year. I think he's finally going to get over the line.
Mine's is someone in the Western Conference.
Western, no.
We'll get to that though.
We'll guess that.
That's my pick.
I'll
But
probably be able to guess that when it comes to it.
you can probably guess it right now, but don't.
No, we'll see.
Not yet, not yet. Yeah, I don't know why. I just think 76ers, they'll go up, they'll go down. They'll get in the playoffs. Will James Harden show up when they need him? No.
I think the playoffs is another issue for them. I think regular season, they're going to be a good team. They're going to be hard to beat.
Yeah.
All things considered, they stay healthy. They're going to be a tough team to beat.
Yeah, who was it? They used to have a player who had a peanut allergy.
Peanut.
I can't remember who it was. It was one. Let me have a look.
I've never heard of that. All right, while you have a look, I'll talk about
go,
why
go.
I've got the Cavs. The Cavs at 6. Last year, they finished at 9th.
Okay.
9th. So from 9th to 6th, I think they were obviously a lot higher last year, and they took an injury late in the season with Jared Allen.
Yeah.
And they've picked up Donovan Mitchell, and that's a massive pickup for them. They haven't overpaid either, which is really impressive.
Especially for them, who they got rid of and sent to Utah.
All they lost is Larry Markkinen.
Yeah, Colin Sexton's a bit.
Sexton, did he really even play that much last year?
He reminds me. Hold on. Zaire Smith.
Zaire Smith.
That's the 76ers person with the peanut allergy. Don't ask how that stuck in my head.
That's a new name to know.
Yeah, with the Cavs losing Colin Sexton, he reminds me of like the local crackhead, and you wind him up, and you send him to do a job.
They just run.
He can do that. Remember, like that one kid at school. You'd G them up, you'd hype them up, you tell them to like throw something, and they'd throw it. That is Colin
That was the
Sexton.
kid, yeah.
You wind him up. You say, just play defense. We know you can. We know you're not going to score. You just harass him, and he will.
Yeah, I mean, I like him in Utah. There's
Yeah.
no one else around Utah. He's going to get some points.
Yeah.
He's not going to do it efficiently, but he's going to shoot the ball. Defensively, coming off the bench. Was he coming off the bench?
I think so, because the Cavs had Ricky Rubio for a bit.
Yeah.
Then he got injured. Then
That is-
Sexton got injured.
They took a lot of late injuries.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, Darius Garland made an all-star team.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Jared Allen as well.
All-star. And then I think Mobley's a future all-star.
Yeah.
It's hard to deny that. And now bringing Donovan, there's your 4th all-star. They're
pretty good.
going to be a tough team to beat, but I don't know the depth of their team well enough.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
They are a young team. They've got plenty of time. I put them up there in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
They're going to be competing. I think regular season, 6th place sounds about fair,
Yeah.
but come playoffs, I don't want to play them.
Yeah, I've got
That's a matchup I would
got them a
avoid.
little higher, but for similar reasons.
Yeah.
All right.
Who do you have at 5?
I have your Miami Heat.
Miami? Okay.
I think personal bias. How do I even describe Miami Heat? They're like when you go to the park and you see a group of older men, and you think, oh, they'll be an easy win, but they play really well, and you just can't beat them. That's what I think the Miami Heat are like.
They do have the tough old men.
Like, I look and I go, okay, most of them don't scare me one on. Like, if I looked at them and said, okay, they're coming against my Knicks, I'm not intimidated, individually, but collectively, Pat Riley, he is the godfather, but he does remind me of a bit of a vampire. Don't know why. He's got that.
He hasn't aged.
Yeah.
Since I've watched basketball, he looks the exact same.
Yeah. And he also, he knows how to win, and his teams know how to
He
win,
knows
which
how
is
to
the
win.
biggest thing.
He knows how to construct a team. Which
How-
is why I'm not concerned. It's
Yeah.
about the power forward.
Yeah. How they got Kyle Lowry under the body fat percentage at Miami, I don't know, but he's a bit juicy.
The photos look good.
He'll do well.
He'll get tested in no time.
Yeah.
He's on something, but whether
Yeah.
he gets done for it or not, that's another
Don't
question.
worry. Who have you got at 5?
Oh, shit. Who do I have at 5? At 5, I have the Atlanta Hawks.
Interesting.
The Atlanta Hawks. They finished 8th last year. Is that right? Yeah, 8th last year. Just played Miami. They brought on just DeJounte Murray. And as good as I think that fit is, I love DeJounte. You know that.
Yeah.
He's probably my biggest pickup in the draft last year, our fantasy comp, and I think he's phenomenal. But the fit's what I question the most.
Fair.
How do they play well together off ball? DeJounte's going to bring in the defense,
Yeah.
but when he's the off ball carrier, I just don't see him putting in a lot. And same with Trey. He's played for the Hawks as the guy forever.
Yeah.
There hasn't been another option in that team, and preseason they've looked strong.
I don't know.
They've played well together.
Clint Capella's a good option.
Clint's a great option if you're just chasing a rebound. But to ask any more of him, I can't see it happening.
That's fair. I've got them a little bit higher, personally.
That doesn't surprise me. I think if you put him any lower, they would come at you for being a Knicks fan.
Yeah. It hurts me. But I accept it. At 4, who do you have?
I have the Boston Celtics.
Fair?
You had them a lot lower. But for all the reasons we stated, I think that's enough to put them at 4.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I've got the Brooklyn Nets.
Okay.
And you've not said them yet, so that means you got them higher. I think it'd be for similar things.
I feel like I'm going to be a bit of a bandwagoner fan on them this year. They have a big three that I like.
Yeah.
They fit well together. And preseason, Ben's looked promising. As much as he keeps airballing shots and hitting teammates on rebounds,
I think
you're still going to get a good performance out of it.
Yeah. So before we go into the Brooklyn Nets, last year in our fantasy team when we set it up, I drafted Ben Simmons and I have copped a year worth of slander.
From everyone but me.
A solid year worth of slander, and I said, look, when he comes back, is he going to score the ball? No. Is he going to defend from 1 to 5? Yeah. I'm watching him guard the point guard, then guard Giannis in the same possession. What more do you want? He'll rebound, he'll defend, he'll facilitate. He won't shoot, but he doesn't need to shoot to be an all-star.
He does need to shoot. He doesn't need to make the shot.
Yeah.
Just put it up. If you're in open space, shoot the ball.
That is true.
He'll hit 1 from 10. And sooner or later, he's going to hit it.
It's
a bit harsh.
1 from 20. But the thing is, I think if he's imagine that he's rookie of the year, he's been an all-star without shooting.
Rookie of the year, second year in a run.
Look, all I'm saying is what do you call it? Who was the last one to do that? Was it Zion? No, Zion didn't win. Ja won. Ja won. There's been more though that's happened to. So his fault he got injured, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, look, if Chet misses out a majority of the season come his rookie year,
he's not beating Victor next year.
He's not beating Victor, but take Victor with an injury on a shitty team. He's not going to not be in the running.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
So you could see it happen again pretty soon.
Yeah,
unlikely but possible.
Yeah, I think the whole NBA this year is just who's like, if you're going to win, try for it. If not, try for Victor.
If you're not trying to win, you should be doing the best you can to go for Victor.
Yeah.
And Scoot's a good consolation prize.
Yeah.
He's looking impressive.
Hopefully. All right, at three. And then in third, I have the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Okay. Yeah, I can respect that. I've got the Brooklyn Nets for everything you've just said.
Okay. That makes sense. I think for the Cavs, I think people aren't going to really take in fully the fact that they've got the starting lineup of Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland. Then they'll have Jarrett Allen, who else? And Mobley. Who's the third person?
The third? I think they keep renaming their third.
Yeah, I think on the bench or on the side they'll have Caris LeVert, who is someone that I'm a big fan of. I think he is someone who's going to get slept on because they'll have obviously the focus will be on Donovan. It'll be on Darius, and then the threat of Jarrett Allen and Mobley. But I wouldn't be surprised if you see Caris LeVert. If he's the sixth man, I don't know if they re-signed Rubio. I think they might have.
Ricky Rubio is listed on the team.
Yeah.
The depth chart has it between Isaac Okoro and Caris LeVert.
I think Ricky Rubio would be that sixth man. LeVert, if he starts, you're running a dangerous 5. Don't forget Kevin Love on the bench.
Kev Love off the bench.
We sleep on K-Love, but he's a solid guy. He's a good leader for that team. All young, lead by him. He's been there from 2014.
Most teams need an old vet that's just stuck to the team.
Yeah.
UD40 all the way.
He's pretty much just an assistant. Haslam at this point, he's an assistant coach.
You need someone to come in and be ready to throw hands. And that's what he's there for.
Kevin Love ain't that guy.
He'll
take you for a wine.
He could be if he wanted to.
He'll take you wine tasting, get you some nice cheese.
Yeah, I mean, he seems like he'd have a good time.
Yeah. Okay. So you've got the Nets third.
Nets third for all the reasons you have them at fourth.
That's fair. Second?
At second, I have the Milwaukee Bucks.
Same.
Yeah. I don't think we need to say all that much about them.
No.
They've got Giannis.
They've got Chris Middleton. If he's healthy. Yeah.
Middleton is one of the most consistently players that is just going to give you exactly what you need.
Yeah, I think if Middleton was healthy, they probably would have beat Boston last year. Honestly.
You could make an argument for it.
Honestly, like they've got Drew Holiday. Solid. Giannis. I don't even have to describe him as Giannis.
It's Giannis. It's the Greek freak.
That's it.
I'm not going to try and say his last name because I don't think I've ever said it right.
Antetokounmpo.
Antetokounmpo.
I had to watch that on YouTube about 5 times.
Well done. I mean, literally in my notes, I just straight up have Giannis. Didn't write anything else. There was no need to write any more for it.
For the record, that's Giannis spelled wrong.
Yeah, it didn't need to be. It didn't need to be spelled right. As long as I can see capital letters and just basically writing Giannis, I'm not wrong.
No, that's fair.
He is enough to carry them to a second seed.
Yeah, for sure. He's just that good, that powerful. And you know what? I just really enjoy him. He's just an enjoyable guy.
He is incredibly enjoyable, and he's good to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got Brook Lopez back,
Yeah.
and that's nice. That's a good adjustment.
I picture Giannis is what Russell Westbrook wished. Like, if Russell Westbrook was like that height, he'd be similar to Giannis. And what I mean by that is they both, not the best shooting, but just the energy that they bring every day is crazy. Like, 2014 Russell Westbrook, he was, every possession was full out. Now, he's not as athletic, but Russ is Russ.
I mean, I don't want to question them, but did they actually sign anyone this offseason?
Not that I know of.
I can't think of anybody that they've brought on. I know they brought Grayson Allen into last year. And
We don't talk about Grayson
we,
Allen.
we avoid talking about
Grayson
it as much
Allen
as we
is
can.
a little bit grubby. But we do enjoy it. We do enjoy it. Let's have a look. Bucks.
I mean, what do you reckon Bobby Portis does this year? Is he coming off the bench?
Oh, Bobby Portis is the GOAT.
I know he's the GOAT. He's on my team.
Yeah.
But is he coming off the bench or is he going to start?
Bobby Portis will start, but hear me out. All you need from Bobby Portis is 3 good moments a game. What I mean by that,
That's probably enough to win.
what I mean by 3 good moments is you don't need him to get 10 rebounds, 10 points. You just need, when there's one big possession needed, Bobby will be there. He's proven it. When they won the ring, he didn't do much, but his impactful moments help turn games around. That's why, and he gets the crowd involved. That's enough.
I think he will be in the starting lineup and the closing lineup.
Yeah.
As for if he gets more minutes in center than Brook Lopez, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think between the three of them, including Giannis, they're all going to rotate the center power forward position.
Yeah.
Giannis obviously going to have a lot more minutes than the two of them.
Yeah. This this Bucks team, it's not the best on the bench.
The depth isn't there.
Like you're not buzzing because Serge Ibaka's coming on.
Will he even really come on?
We'll see. Okay, to round it up, who do you have winning the East? So not winning, just first in the rankings.
Finishing first seed, I have the 76ers.
Okay, and finishing first with chest, I have the Atlanta Hawks.
That blows my mind.
I'll tell you why. Number 1, Trae Young, similar to me, he is balding. Michael
It has
Jordan
gotten worse.
went bald. Won titles. LeBron, he is bald. It's just powder at this point. Since 2011, it's powder. Titles. Trae Young, his hair looks like a bird's nest. I think Trae, DeJounte. You might think, okay, defensively, what do they bring? I just think their game plan with those two is just outscore. We're not going to.
DeJounte is a good defender.
But I think they're just going to go, we're not going to beat them defensively. Let's just outscore them. Trey, pull up from 35. Yeah, go for it. DeJounte, go harass people. Yeah, go for it.
Be a menace.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not wild to say that they'll finish first. It's not wild to say it. It's... To say it with chest is wild.
Yeah. With
To
chest.
be confident.
With chest.
Yeah, I can't see that.
I think they just will be that persistent. Because they're a young team that has, on the bench, they've got DeAndre Hunter, who was a top 5 rookie, a top 5 pick in his draft, I think 2019. Will he come good? Who knows? They drafted AJ Griffin, who's someone I was very high on going into the draft.
I do like AJ.
I think they'll be good.
Yeah.
I think they'll trade Clint Capella, get a bit back for him. That'll be good.
Onyeka Okongwu might have the starting spot halfway through the season. I don't see them finding a trade for Clinton very early,
Yeah.
but
No, by that Feb window.
if
Clint's
window
gone.
rolls around, he could be gone.
Let's see. So why do you have the 76ers first?
I just assume Embiid's going to be healthy.
I've never seen a more bold prediction.
I know it's a rough one, but they finished fourth, and as we said earlier, there was only a few games in it.
Yeah.
And they went half a season without a star player, and now they've brought on James Harden. Tyrese Maxey's looking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Tobias Harris, we're not going to ask a hell of a lot from.
You just forget he's on the team.
you just try and forget his contract. That's the main part you want to
Yeah.
forget. That's definitely an overpaid player. But just a full season with those three guys, I think, is enough to keep you in the first seed.
Yeah.
Doc Rivers has a hell of a lot to prove. And I
Sure.
think that's the one thing that might let them down. I think that could really be a struggle for them. But we saw how they were in the second half of the season. And it was good. It was strong. They looked well. A full season of it, I think it's enough.
My only disagreement is the fact that they'll all be healthy long enough to make it impactful. That's my only hesitation. They're a stunning team. The health is the only thing that makes me go,
The health is the biggest question mark.
yeah.
You take them healthy, who's beating them?
Yeah. Well,
Some will, but it wouldn't, not easily.
yeah. Ben Simmons on the Brooklyn Nets versus 76ers. I hope that's the Eastern Conference Finals.
I don't think he plays.
I think he's got to go to the doctors or something. But to round up the East, I have the Hawks winning.
I have the Philadelphia 76ers.
Interesting. All right, should we move on to the West?
I think we should.
West is a bit more easier. No, a bit more easy. It's just a bit easier to predict the bottom five teams. I don't even think we need to give a justification for the bottom few. At 15, I have the Spurs.
I also have the Spurs. I think for the sole purpose of Doc Rivers just saying,
Well, not Doc
don't
Rivers.
put... Oh, not Doc Rivers. Greg Popovich. My bad.
Unless Doc gets fired.
That's my bad. I'm sorry. But just he literally came out of the media and said, do not bet on us. We're going to be bad.
Yeah, I think with Victor being the prior possession, Doc loves someone. That's not. See, no, I'm saying Doc.
Now I messed you up.
Pop loves someone who's an international
Pop
player.
Doc, it's pretty close.
Yeah, pretty close. Don't even have to justify it. They're going to tank. 14, I have the Rockets.
At 14, I have the Utah Jazz.
Fair.
I don't see their star players remaining there for more than a month.
Yeah, I think Jordan Clarkson's gone within.
Clarkson's gone. Mike Conley's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, their best player might end up being Kelly Olynyk.
No, I reckon Taylor Horton Tucker.
He's gotten pretty beefy.
Yeah, it's fine. Remember James Harden was fat and then he was skinny the next week?
Yeah, but that was to get traded. Horton Tucker ain't moving.
Yeah.
He's meant to be in his best shape.
I back him. All right. See, the thing is with the West, the bottom few, it's so, like, they're just all tanking.
There's not a lot to say about them.
Like, if I say 13, I've got OKC, it speaks for itself.
At 13, I have the Rockets.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a whole lot more to say than they should be trying to lose.
Yeah, pretty much. These bottom, like, 5 teams, what, bottom four? Bottom four?
I think 5 it might get a little spicy for
At
us.
12, I've got the Jazz. You have OKC, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For that exact purpose. I think they rest Shea. I
Yeah.
think Shea asks out towards the end of the year.
You reckon?
I think he's just sick of sitting on the bench.
I think
He's a good enough player that if he played the whole season, he'd be an all-star.
he is going to be this year where DeJounte Murray was last year.
Yeah.
It's probably a fair shout.
That's a relatively fair shout.
Yeah.
I mean, he keeps getting listed as injured, but he's just not.
He's not injured. He's
They're
just...
tanking. And I mean, to tank for Chet makes sense. To tank for Victor makes sense, but
At
how
what
long
cost?
can you hold back this guy's career? Like, he's coming into his prime if he's not already there.
Yeah, I think it would be interesting to see. That's why, yeah, it's so similar to these bottom teams. I think with the 12 for the Jazz, it's pretty much exactly what you said. I just think we know we know they're tanking.
We know they've gone all in on the tank.
Yeah, Rudy gone, Donovan gone. They've got enough draft picks to just keep going. It's clear. This is what's going to get a bit interesting. Who'd you got at 11?
I have the LA Lakers.
LA Lakers. Intriguing. I have the Sacramento Kings. Why you got the Lakers?
Look, there's just too much issues with the team.
What do you
Westbrook
mean?
doesn't fit. Anthony Davis can't stay healthy, and LeBron's too old to play a full season. Now, you can't hate on the GOAT for not playing. They're resting him because you want him healthy for the playoffs.
I think it's the big question is, can LeBron pull that team to the playoffs?
I think the pieces stay healthy. He gets them in shape and keeps them running, and they make it with ease.
Yeah.
But
Will they?
can you see Anthony Davis playing 50 games?
No.
It's
No.
impossible to say and expect it to happen. The last time he did that, he was still at the Pelicans.
Yes, it's interesting because I've got the Sacramento Kings. I just think Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox, Keegan Murray. It's a good team. But I just don't trust Sacramento to do the right thing. They traded Tyrese Halliburton.
Mistake.
He wanted to be there. He's probably one of the only people to go there that wanted to be there. At 10, I have the Lakers. Kind of similar to you. I think just can LeBron pull them the whole way? Maybe. We discussed them because you've got them for 11. What do you reckon about the Kings?
I've got the Kings at 10 for the same reasons as you had, but I just expect more from Keegan Murray. I think with his fit that it's just going to work out really well for him. Sabonis on the team, all-star.
Yeah.
Foxy is in a position to make an all-star. I think if he does, which is unlikely, there's no way they miss the plan.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. At 9, I'm curious to hear you've got. I've got the Blazers.
So do I. I feel like that just was bound to happen. You couldn't put him anywhere else.
Yeah, you got Dame Lillard. It's Dame time, but Dame time is no time.
Yeah, as long as he's playing, which
And that's the
how
thing.
often is that going to happen?
I don't look at the Blazers and go, Josh Hart, ooh, Simons,
I
ooh.
like the bringing in of Jeremy Grant. I think that's
Yeah.
a nice fit for him. He'll play well. He'll fit in the team nicely. But
He's like a B plus on a best day.
yeah, it's like you're not going to expect a lot from him.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Like to put them any higher, you're assuming that Damian's going to have an MVP season,
Which is not.
which is just not.
He's not.
You can't assume he will. You can't assume he won't.
Yeah.
But even if he does, you wouldn't be putting him in the top tiers of players.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I think we might have quite similar for the top 8. At 8, I've got the Timberwolves.
We definitely don't.
Fuck.
Why do you have the Timberwolves at the 8?
I think they've got Rudy Gobert.
Yep.
All right. They've got Karl Anthony Towns. Rudy Gobert offers about as much as me. Offensively. Defensively, he's good. I think in the regular season, those two 7-footers will play well together. In the playoffs, they will get targeted. They will get switched at. Look at any team in the West, okay? Let's go Clippers. Kawhi, Paul George, easy, John Wall. They'll target them, pick and roll, done. Rudy Gobert coming up to mark the 3-point line against the Warriors. I think realistically they will get targeted defensively. Having two 7-footers like that, it comes at a cost. They've both got to be able to offer stuff on both ends. Cat's good both ways. Rudy's only good on one side of the floor.
Do you think they're better or worse than last year?
I think they're better statistically, like on paper. Whether or not that translates that will be the thing.
I think it only translates come playoffs. I think regular season they're not going to be able to be targeted day in, day out.
Yeah, I think if I'm any team and I'm playing against the Timberwolves, I am putting those two in the pick and roll. I'm constantly switching on Rudy Gobert at the point guard. Like, think about it. He's coming up against, let's have a look at our own team, the Grizzlies. They do a screen. Ja Morant has Rudy Gobert against him. Huh? It'll be like a donkey on ice.
Yeah, maybe.
You see that baby giraffe walk? That will be Rudy Gobert at the 3-point line.
Look, I don't think the Grizzlies are a fair example. I have the Grizzlies at 8.
The Grizzlies at 8?
I have the Grizzlies at 8.
Why?
I think they take a hit.
How so?
So many teams around them have either gotten better, improved, are going to stay similar. They've taken an injury, and I think last year was a bit of a fluke for them.
Interesting. I think they're a very good young team. Desmond Bain. Jaren Jackson Jr. is out to December.
He's not out that long, but does he come back in full form?
Yes, he's 23 years old.
We've seen plenty of other 23-years-olds not come back full form.
Look, at 25 with a dodgy hip now these days, I'm not going to comment on real health. Sometimes we kicked the ball the other day. Had to do some yoga. Doing yoga these days, that's how you know. So, you are right, but I think those athletes, even though I do say I'm very athletic and I'm quite decent, I once said I could be a professional athlete, semi-pro. I do see how, with the proper healthcare, those guys could come back. I think Jaren Jackson comes back fine. It just depends. My only worry for the Grizzlies is Ja Morant reminds me of a young Derrick Rose. And I worry explosively. It's one ACL injury away from being Derrick Rose.
Yeah, he is in that caliber of player.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard for... You couldn't put him any lower than 8th, because even 8th seems a bit too low, even me putting him there.
Yeah.
There's only maybe one, arguably 2 teams above them that you could probably switch around. But I wouldn't want to switch them around. I feel like they do take that hit. Too many other teams have gotten stronger. They came second last year, and to put them in 8th felt weird, but I've done the same to Miami.
Yeah, look,
Gone
that's
from
fair.
1st to 7th. You did the same for the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
So it's not an unrealistic jump for someone to drop from 2nd to 8th when everyone around them's gotten better.
I was just about to say that's not going to happen. Then you remind me I said the exact same
You said
thing
the
when
exact
happened to
same
Boston. So I cannot deny it. Fair. Moving on with the West at 7. Who you got?
I have the Pelicans.
Snap. I also have the Pelicans.
Yeah.
Okay, there's quite a few that are quite similar. I think probably the same as you. Zion's back. Ingram's there. CJ McCollum's there. They've got a good team.
CJ for a full year. That's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
I mean, they finished 8th last year. They've gotten better. They have Zion. They could finish as high as 5th or 6th. I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
But I would not be surprised.
I think a fully healthy Pelicans team will be interesting to see how, obviously, with Zion out, everyone's stats were a little bit buffed. The line out a little bit more, come down to a bit more of a normal with him in, because he's going to average at least like 25 and 5.
At
least.
least. On
Like,
a
at
bad
least.
day, that's what he'll get.
So who does that 25 come from? That's the issue. CJ, Brandon Ingram. That's who loses off of that.
I hope to think that Ingram you're going to get at least 20 to 22 out of.
Yeah.
CJ, I think he takes the biggest hit.
Yeah.
I think he goes from possibly being that 25, 26 to being that 20-point scorer. Like, I think they will have at least 3 20-point scorers in
Yeah.
their team. I think Zion's going to get them 26 to 28 with ease.
Any top 6 team needs that. They need
Yeah.
3 options. Otherwise, they're in a bit of a pickle. That's why the Lakers are not going to do too good, because they've only got 1. They've got Anthony, but he's like 1.5 because he's only on the court half the season. Okay. What do you got for 6?
I have the Suns.
Fuck. Same here.
Same? Yeah.
Okay,
Nah.
this is a lot. See, the West was always going to be a lot easier. Probably the same reason, right? DeAndre Ayton's not happy. Chris Paul's older. Devin Booker is Devin Booker. He's awesome. Jay Crowder's out.
Yeah, I've got the fact that Crowder's out, and I can see them doing some load management for Chris Paul. I think he's too old now to be playing the whole season if they are so focused on the playoffs.
Yeah.
The Ayton pickup for the whole year, I don't think he wants to be there.
No, he doesn't. I think the Pacers offered him a contract.
That's
He
the only
he
reason.
looked so mad that the Suns matched it.
Well, the Suns pretty much said, unless someone gives you an offer, we're taking your minimum.
Yeah.
We're not giving you any more, any less. And they made it pretty clear they were trying to trade him.
Yeah.
The trade fell through, so Indiana just went, well, stuff it, we'll give him an offer.
Yeah.
Either you can match it or do a trade with us. And they went, well, stuff you, we'll match it.
Yeah. I think they're one of those teams where I don't have the highest of expectations, but they're a very good team. Just depends how it plays out. Like, they're a wrist injury from Chris Paul from being the 8th seed.
There's also a fair few front office issues.
Yeah, well, their owner's a racist.
Yeah.
Like, verified racist, confirmed.
Verified. I think he's copped a 1-year suspension.
Probably going to sell the team.
Yeah, I think he was forced to.
Yeah, they'll
was-
fall into that, like, Boston Celtics, where the external factors are going to put a bit of a hint on the team.
Yeah, like the players in the team are going to be solid,
Yeah.
but everything going on in the background's got to become a distraction at some point.
Yeah, speaking of distractions, I've got this really nice iced coffee. And I'm not going to lie, it's my first ever iced coffee, and it's hitting different.
You're definitely taking your time with it.
Yeah, because it's a bit cold. Never really had one, so I'm just
Just sipping away, enjoying it.
get the effect.
Yeah. Lovely. A little sip, enjoy it.
A little sip. Alright, so moving on to the 5th seed. I've got the Grizzlies there. Probably similar to you, where they'll take a bit of a hit. But,
That's only a smaller hit than I
yeah.
projected.
Who have you got?
I have the Dallas Mavericks. I know you're not going to be happy with that one.
Criminally.
It feels criminal to put them this low. Feels criminal.
Why 5?
It's weird to explain, but they're all relying on just Luka. And Luka is phenomenal. And he can do it.
Yeah.
You could see this team finishing anywhere from the 2nd seed to the 5th, 6th seed.
Yeah.
And it's a lot to rely on one guy when the rest of the team doesn't seem provenly reliable.
That,
The addition of
It's fair.
Christian Wood, nice.
yeah.
Apparently he's running with the 2nd unit.
Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense to me. Like, I get the idea of not putting him on the starting court, but
Yeah.
there's no way he's not closing out games.
That is fair. That is fair.
You don't pick up Christian Wood to not have him playing with Luka.
Yeah, I think my big thing with Luka is I'll get to it later. I think he's got a bit more in him. I think he does. I think me putting the Grizzlies 5 is probably a bit realistic. At 4, I have the Denver Nuggets. Who have you got?
This is where I have the Timberwolves.
Okay.
I have them a bit high. They finished 7th last year.
Yeah.
I think they've made a jump picking up Rudy. They haven't lost all that much.
I mean, they've lost probably one of the best players in the league.
Look, Pat Bev is an absolute menace. but you can't celebrate making it into the play-in game like you've just won a championship.
I feel like there's a few players that we should make our own bracket of just crackhead NBA players. Captained by Pat Bev.
Co-captained. Colin's got to be in there.
Yeah, I feel like Colin Sexton is just a young Pat Bev.
I feel like he wants to be Pat Bev.
You know what? Fair enough. Get your bag, King. But it's interesting. So you have them fourth.
I have them fourth. I have high expectations for the regular season.
Yeah.
I can easily see them getting knocked out first round.
Yeah.
Easily. There's too many ways around it, but regular season game, there's just... You're not going to spend weeks on weeks planning to go up against them.
No, I think the reason why I think they'll be a bit low is I think every team will have the same game plan.
But
It's going to be a very clear game plan.
They figure out a way around that game plan. Like,
But there's only one way around it, and it's one way which I don't think is going to happen. That's Rudy Gobert being an offensive threat. That's the only way around it. Can he offer more than 10 points?
I think so.
Okay, for the record, I have him on my fantasy team, so I do hope so.
Well, you're going to trade him in the next 2-3 weeks. You've been
Yeah.
fishing to get rid of him for ages.
So going back to Chris being a corrupt commissioner, he's vetoed a team for Rudy on a few teams, not just his own. So keep an eye on this one. I'll let you know. It's called Fraud Watch. We'll keep an eye on that, and when I do trade them, I'll let you all know. Soon. Unless Chris has his hand in another trade.
Look, the only thing Rudy's going to do is end up on my team.
No. No. See, that's fraudulent. Okay. Third, who you got?
The Warriors.
Warriors. Same
You
here.
couldn't put him any higher, and it'd just be disrespectful to put him lower.
No, I do like the fact this season, going into it, Draymond Green's had some coaching lessons from Miles Bridges and just punching people up.
It might strengthen the team.
I just want to be on the record. I actually take that back. I don't want to do any jokes about Miles Bridges. He's on felony charges, so I can't say it seriously. But Draymond Green's going to the Lakers next year. You heard it here second because it's been everywhere else before this statement.
Look, they've got 3 players all wanting a max,
Yeah,
and there's barely room for one.
I think Draymond goes, then they'll split it between Poole and Wiggins. They have to. They're both not getting the max.
I think Wiggins gets the max.
You know what's interesting is I've noticed they've just gone, you know what, sod it, we'll just play the luxury tax. They don't care.
They don't.
But also they're winning. So I wouldn't care.
Yeah, if you're winning championships, why would you?
Yeah.
You're not taking any risk. You're just going, look, we're a top seed. We're going to play everybody in the playoffs and easily walk through it.
Yeah, I think the key part this year is they've got the likes of Kuminga, Moody, and Wiseman. He'll be put into the rotation more, which is just them going, look, Iguodala's not playing. He's now that UD40 role. He is.
Yeah,
He is.
You can't have him doing much more.
He should, but he's a bit more valuable than Haslam, just because he can actually step on the court.
Haslam's a better leader.
But he leads from the bench. At least I can see Iguodala gone, and the reason why is he is the Finals MVP. I can't say that seriously. He didn't deserve the
He did
Finals
not
MVP.
deserve it whatsoever.
I mean, it's like he stopped LeBron, but LeBron got like 38, 6, and 6.
I mean, that's what he was highlighted for. Holding him away from 50.
Yeah, impressive. But I think, there's quite a few we've agreed on, but this is where we disagree. Who you got second? I reckon you've got the Clippers.
I have the Nuggets at second.
The Nuggets second.
I have the
Okay.
Nuggets second. Who do you have?
I have the Mavs.
Mavs second. Yeah, I expected that from you.
Yeah, I'll tell you why. Here's my justification. Luka. Moving on. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say is I've watched this guy terrorize the league. He plays similar to who was I said earlier. He plays at times 0.75 speed. He runs in slow motion. He's not sprinting. But the reason why is because he slows the game down to his pace. He makes all the other nine players on the court play at the pace he wants to play. He picks the ball, he dribbles slow. He's a bit slimmer now. He's coming into the season a bit more in shape.
Yeah, he definitely looks in shape.
I think they go, okay, so also, there's a pickup on the draft by the Mavs of Jaden Hardy. Keep an eye on him. He's going to turn out, eventually, here's my reasoning with the Mavs, is they need to find the Klay Thompson to Luka being Steph. That's what they're missing. If they find that, I'm not saying it's Jaden Hardy, but I'm saying they're going to experiment that lineup until they find who the second option is. Because right now, who's the second option in the Mavs? Spencer Dinwiddie, Tim Hardaway Jr.
Probably Hardaway.
And as a Knicks fan, that's not a good second option.
No,
He's
not the best.
a stud of a player, but he's not the one where you go, okay, Luka's out, can you give us a win? No. So they're going to experiment. They're going to experiment heavy, and I think that is my justification. And I just think he's just going to terrorize the league. I have Luka winning the MVP.
Yeah, I figured you would.
I think he's going to win the MVP.
It's about time he was in conversations for it.
He's up there. I think if he's healthy, why not? Why not? Why'd you go the Nugs?
Look, Jokic carried the team as far as he did last season without the likes of Jamal Murray and
Porter Jr.
Porter Jr. I was about to call him
Yeah.
something else, but yeah, look, with them back and healthy and in the rotation, it's kind of you can't put them low.
Yeah, my only hesitancy is I've watched Michael Porter Jr. since high school. His back is the only thing stopping him. He had back injuries and he was projected top 5 pick
Yeah,
for his draft. He had spinal surgery in college. He then had to sit out majority of the season, played like 1 or 2 games. He's an unreal player if he's healthy. And that's the reason why I think he dropped past the lottery in the draft or he's like bottom, he's like 13th, 14th pick because of that injury.
I think he's proven enough that he's going to be okay.
Well, we'll see.
We will have to wait and see for that, sadly. But
And again, when he is healthy, you best believe he's already on my fantasy team.
Look, if they do remain healthy, which I think they will,
Yeah.
they're a second seed.
Yeah, that's fair. I think
They're a top seed. Jokic keeps them in the conversation of being almost a contender. But with them healthy, they're a definite contender.
I think it's interesting because why is it every player that's like that, like a Jokic or a Luka, they play so slow at their own pace? But it's the power that they have because they're that good. They can go, we're going to play slow today. I'm going to dictate it. It's done. Who have you got?
Setting the pace just changes everything for them.
Yeah. Who you got first?
The LA Clippers.
Okay.
You've got
Same. I suppose realistically that's all we've got left to not say. So,
Yeah, I mean, someone would have been doing the math on that and figured it out 5 minutes ago.
yeah, I mean, not me. I'm a bit stupid at this point. Why'd you go Clippers? I know why I went. Probably the same thing, right? Kawhi, PG,
Kawhi,
John
PG,
Wall.
John Wall. What can you say? They're all healthy. They remain fit. Preseason, they're looking great.
Yeah.
You're a serious contender.
I'll tell you why I decided. The moment I decided is when John Wall started hitting the Dougie. As soon as I saw that John Wall doing the Dougie was back, I knew that's it. Once you see gang sign John Wall, it's done. The first one of the gang signs he throws up, the season is over.
There isn't a whole lot to say on. They're going to be good.
Yeah.
And I have them over every other team, so do you.
Yeah.
Where did they finish last year? Not all that well. They finished as the 9th seed.
Yeah.
From 9th to 1st, you got a full season of Paul George.
Yeah.
And you got Kawhi back.
And you've also got a John Wall who hasn't played in a few years, but the reason why that's helpful is he has sat and not been in a position to get injured. So he's a healthy John Wall. He's a healthy, fresh John Wall that wants to prove why he is John Wall. And I'm telling you, as soon as you see that first John Wall step back 3, then he chucks up a gang sign, the league's over. Gang sign John Wall is one of the top NBA mythical players.
Yeah, he might do it first game back.
First game back, he's going to Dougie on the intro, chuck up 30 points, hit the gang signs, and you know what? Give him the title.
I mean, I won't be taking it from him.
Yeah.
Kawhi's going to be in the argument for defensive player.
He's just
Paul
a robot.
George, he should be in the argument for MVP.
If his shoulders are okay.
Yeah, I mean, John Wall, there's not really an award for returning player, but if there was, he'd win it.
Yeah, he's probably going to be the most impactful returning player from the last season. But so, I say that. Kawhi didn't play last season.
That is true.
But I think overall, that Clippers team, it all just comes down to, I think the issue I find with these seeding predictions is you can never predict the injuries. You cannot, we could sit here and say Clippers going to be good, but if Kawhi goes down, the Clippers, bye-bye.
Kawhi goes down early in the season, they
Yeah.
trade everything away.
Yeah. Steph
Trade
Curry,
it, they go for him.
with the Warriors, Steph Curry's ankles go, bye-bye.
Done.
And that's the thing. I think it's interesting. It'd be very interesting to see how it all unfolds. If you're watching, let us know what you think. You don't have to give us all 15, but let us know who you think is going to be top of the West and the East. It'll be interesting to see who everyone thinks. And also, I'd say put a comment down below what team you reckon is going to get Victor in the draft. Because like you said, there's a few teams that are just set for Victor tanking. Be interested to see who we think is going to get it.
I think the outstanding favourites are Spurs.
Yeah, I think it all just comes down to the math, right? Those bottom 3 teams will all have a 14% chance. It's just how many other draft picks can they trade for to boost it for them? Because you can come bottom 3 and you still have the same percentage.
Yeah.
But I think Victor to the Knicks.
You want that.
You know what? Ironically, I don't want to get my hopes
I'll
up.
mess it up.
I had a whole campaign. There it was one night, 2019. I'm dreaming Zion, KD, Kyrie. I wake up to RJ Barrett, Julius Randle. I mean, Evan Fournier. What more do I want? Yeah, that's it for this week. You guys want to like and subscribe, follow along. If you listen on Spotify, check it on. Give us a 5-star review on Spotify. That's helpful.
Yeah, very helpful.
So, Jake Lewis, I'm looking at you.
We'll catch you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.